Okay, so some of you will zone out from the technicalness of it, but beware at this moment to be on here if you're like, that's your fault, you didn't know. Okay, so the group feature is working better. I'll put the links down below. There's the FList and semi-urged groups, and I'm finding them useful already. I hope now to get to exposing some of the group stuff. I had some suggestions for groups that I could make, but also it's clear to me that rather than ask people to tell me, if I just give a link where you can create groups, and I'm thinking just opening it up so that people can create the first 10 groups, and because I think it'd be useful, but I don't really want to open it up as a feature for the accounts until I have like a complete subset of features for managing and interacting with groups, and maybe including some of the voting mechanisms so we can have some of the dynamic structure and prototyping out of this system that I want to have. So yeah, so the group links are below. Let me tell you, this is the technical part. These might be intense. You're testing for me a little bit. All the sorting and stuff seems to be worked out. I've cleaned up the code. The main issue is when you get a web page, it's one request and it comes back, right? Well, looking up the recent vids of 30 people takes too long for me to do in one request with Google App Engine. So what I've done is I use Ajax. I get one page, and then that page goes and tries to make 20 requests if there's 20 people in the list, for example, for simplicity. 20 requests. So there's a burst of requests. Google loves this, and it comes back much quicker against Google than it does on my test server, which can't really solve all of those at once, whereas the Google servers can. Those requests actually go off to different servers, and they can come back. And then as they come back, I sort them, and hopefully it's sorted. I put the date in the little postage stamp summary that I have for now, so that to help us double check. That date might not match a YouTube date. It's supposed to be the date of publication of the video. Note all my dates use UTC time. That's internet time. I don't have any intention of babying this. But what about in my time zone? Figure out what time zone you're in. You're in plus 10 or something, and figure it out. It's your deal. So the date won't be exactly the same. It'll be the UTC time at the date you're shown. If you like dealing with time zones, and by all means deal with that. So it might be an intense kind of program just because it's making this burst, but it seems to work well. I thought about staggering the requests so it doesn't burst all 20 in this example at the same time, but then that means I would have to start 20 in this example timers in your browser, which I don't think would be good. When you leave the page, we had a problem, I think I mentioned a bit ago, that I had fixed, and it's related to this kind of thing. I don't want to start 20 timers to go off when you might even leave the page, whereas the page knows how to cancel requests that that it has made. So yeah, and other features, I don't know, definitely PhiVidTool. Anybody that's using the group stuff, I'm gonna be making another video when I give you a way to, when either one I've added some of the groups people mention, or if I open up a page where people can ideally add groups. And then I'm going to be working a lot on various things, actually, but in terms of the most direct things, it'll be the first to actually get published, because I'm working on some things to get them ready in a more medium term as well. At the same time will be user features so that you can subscribe to the groups and create groups and control groups you've created, though I will tell you there is no owning a group forever because you created it. The way these groups are going to work is you create a group. Now if you ascribe yourself to that group, it makes it easier to keep control of it, because the people that are actually official members that you say are in it and that say themselves that they're in it, those people can vote to take over a group. So if I created a group of FLists, as I have, and currently I'm an owner because just by default whatever person creates the group is the owner, I could be the owner and the FList could say, yeah, you're group owner and you maintain this group. But since I'm not an FList, I'm not eligible. They can have an election for an owner and I'm not eligible. Members are. Okay. I want to clarify, I sort of spoke out of turn there in a way that's important. I would be eligible to be the owner, but only the official members of the group get to vote on who the new owner will be. So, I'm a less likely candidate. But in the case of a group that wanted a neutral party to be the group owner. Because if you have somebody that's in the group, the problem is that they have friends, and foes, or more friendly versus less friendly type of relationships within the group. Sometimes it might be good to have a group owner, because the group owner isn't supposed to be forcing up his version of the agenda on the group. It's supposed to be maintaining that there is a group, you know, and just a facilitator like the chair in a Congress, where they're just there to make sure everybody has a chance and the rules are followed. Okay. So ultimately, groups are created not to identify other people and own that identification. If you create a group to identify other people, those other people are eventually going to own that identification. And I'm going to be working on the first minimal set of features that ensures at least some of that principle is involved. All right, cheers. Oh, wait, I forgot. Gary, this is what your website looks for me. I went to your, Ephelist group page, and this is a normal size for my browser, and it's about half of my screen, and yeah, so you're wasting a little bit of real estate, I thought I'd say. And the other things, I thought you were going to put a link, but maybe you thought the group features aren't ready for prime time. But, if you put a link, if people find it useful, we can add features, because I do like to satisfy some whims of my early users before there's too many users or other things going on to try to address those. I think that's usually beneficial. So, but anyway, mainly it's just like, look, this is screen real estate issue here. You might want to solve that. You have absolute sizing for your thing, and it's based on how big your browser is, I guess. Which is fine if you're making it just for yourself, but okay. Cheers.